Hi guys. I have not been posting much in the past few months, which I promise is going to change soon. I'm going to announce something really cool in the next few weeks. But as of now, I haven't been posting very much. So I wanted to do just like a Q&A just for old time's sake and to update you on my life because it's much easier than me just rambling for a while. So I asked you guys on Instagram to send me what life updates you want. And this is what you guys said. Okay. Hallie said, how is everything with you and Emin? And I guess that will be my first life update is my relationship. I am going on 3 years, right? 3 years? What year is it? 2022? 3 years of marriage in 6 days, guys. How insane is that? Most of you, I would think, have been watching me since before I got married. Maybe some of you discovered me when I got married, but regardless, that was 3 fucking years ago, which is insane. So that's cool. We've been dating, like we have been dating, I guess, together in total for 4 years, which is even longer than that. So that's amazing. But I would say I feel like as I get older and as my brain develops, I get more and more calm as the days go by. I do have a little bit of anger issues, which I've talked to you guys about in the past. I have a bit of a, volatile mindset. Look at how I'm holding this mic. I have a bit of a volatile mindset at times, but I feel like that has calmed down, especially since I stopped taking birth control, which was like almost a year ago, maybe at this point. I'm still being safe, which I don't want to get in too much detail with, but I'm still being safe, but I'm not on birth control, like the pill or anything like that. I was on Nexplanon in the pill, and it kind of made me insane. It made me crazy, which is not a surprise. Like I know that most people have that experience, or a lot of people have that experience to take birth control. But for me, I didn't really realize how crazy it was making me until I got off of it. So that combined with getting a little bit older, I feel like has made me more calm, which has made my relationship better. And Emin touring so much and leaving so much, going to Nashville, whatever, which he does all the time now, has also made our relationship so much better because we don't see each other every day. Because of the pandemic and because of the nature of our relationship and how long we've been together and everything, like we literally saw each other every day for years. But then this year, he was gone a lot, like for many, many months. And that was different. And it was, tough to get used to, I guess. And it still is hard, like when he's gone. But when he comes back, it's like we get along so well because, I don't know, Emin and I both have strong personalities. We both have very intense personalities. I am kind of fiery and loud and rude sometimes in like a overt way. Emin can be a little bit passive aggressive.
I have to interrupt the video to tell you guys about the sponsor of today, which is BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of BetterHelp, it's basically just an online platform where you can get therapy from a licensed professional. Therapy is an amazing, incredible tool that has changed my life in so many ways, and being able to do it online and just talk to someone that I can trust has really changed my life. Some of the advice that I've gotten from therapists, I take with me everywhere I go in my life, and I think about it all the time and apply it to so many real life situations. And I think there might be a stigma surrounded by it for some people. Like they think that if you have to do therapy, you're crazy, when in reality I think that everybody needs it, and it's so important. And you don't have to feel like you're locked into one therapist forever. You can switch at any time, and when you're signing up for BetterHelp, you tell them about the issues you're facing, what you're wanting help with, and then they match you with the therapist that will be best suited for your needs, and so you're more likely to find a better match. But again, if you don't, you can change at any time. They have over 25,000 licensed therapists that you can talk to from the comfort of your own home, and they have the option to do text, chat, phone call, or video call. You can also message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions whenever you need. So if you guys want to try BetterHelp, you can go to betterhelp.com. That's BetterHelp/Cayetano, and you can get 10% off your first month. You can click on that link in my description, or you can scan the QR code that you see here on the screen.
Emin can be a little bit passive aggressive, and he's a little bit more of a quiet, stoic person, which you guys might be surprised to know because I feel like on the internet he's very crazy and like loud and funny, whatever. But while he does joke all the time, at home, he also is kind of a huge asshole sometimes, like way too sarcastic and like offensive sometimes, very straightforward, very like blunt. So we're both very like, stubborn and straightforward. So that can result in a lot of fights, but not like intense fights. I would say 9 out of 10 times it's very chill and like we move on very quickly, or I move on very quickly. But that has happened less and less as he has traveled, which is so nice. Like, I guess it's just you get at each other, you get under each other's skin, like when you're living with someone, you just get bothered at them. I feel like you guys probably relate to that with roommates or siblings or anything. Like it's just annoying sometimes to be with someone all the time. And like our schedules don't line up. I'm a morning person. He's a night person. Like he loves to talk all day long. He loves to like be involved in every aspect of my life and have him involved in every aspect of his life, which like sometimes is really fun and sometimes is very annoying because like I'm trying to work and edit a video and he's like trying to talk to me and I'm like, I have to do this. And he's like, okay, whatever. I don't know. We deal with those things. We figure them out. But moral of the story is it's gotten a lot better in general. Like our relationship, I think has always been good. Like I like to think I have a good relationship, but there were definitely some tough times during the pandemic and just in the past couple years, but they've gotten significantly better since he's traveling. So that's good. And that's fun. We appreciate each other more. That's the moral of the story. We appreciate each other more when we don't see each other all the time. Next life update. How has Norman adjusted to LA/your work schedule/travel? Norman has a lot of anxiety. Norman is my dog, in case you don't know. And for anyone who cares to know about him, because I love him so much, we've tried to accommodate his anxiety the best we can. He's very scared of strangers, which sucks. Like, it's really, really hard. If you guys have a reactive dog, you understand. He, like, scares the shit out of people in our apartment complex because he barks at them and he acts like he's going to bite them, but he's not. Like, he's never tried to bite anyone. He just barks at them. And he'll, like, lunge at people in a way, like, trying to get near them, but not, like, snapping, you know what I mean? He's not like lunging at them to bite them. He's like lunging at them to like bark at them. I don't know. It's very confusing. Like he's never, ever tried to bite anyone ever. But like he gets terrified actually. He'll bark at people and then if they actually approach him, he'll like back up and start shaking. So it's really, really sad. He's just terrified of humans, like strangers. But he loves when people come over and he loves meeting new people like in our house or like after a few minutes, he warms up to people very like nicely, but it's very stressful. Very stressful. So we try to limit his change and stress as much as possible. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the first like 2 years of our marriage, we moved like 3 times. We went across the country multiple times. Like it was a very, very stressful, intense thing to do, especially for a dog with anxiety. I mean, it was stressful for us, but for Norman, it was a lot. So Emmett and I made a vow when we moved into this apartment, which was almost exactly a year ago. It was 11 months ago. We said we are going to stay here at least our entire lease. At least, because I know that sounds like not a lot for most people because most people stay their entire lease, but Emmett and I have broken every lease we've ever been in until now. So actually, no, just kidding. We had one that we chose not to renew. We did stay in one for a full year. Anyway, we said that and we're sticking to it. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've lived here for almost an entire year, which is great. It's a new record. So I like to think that's helped him. We also don't like take him a lot of places. We try to just take him we were taking him to daycare for a while, but we stopped taking him, which I feel like I should tell you guys about. You know what? This is a podcast. That's what this is for. Let me tell you guys a story. We were taking Norman to daycare to try to quell his fears of strangers because it's like a controlled environment. He can hang out with other dogs. He can see people, you know, like the handlers and stuff. And maybe he'll start to like people, you know? That was my theory. And I've heard a lot of good things about daycare, right? Just for dogs in general, rather than taking them to dog parks because he gets a little bit crazy at the dog park and it's even more stressful to take him to the dog park because I'm like, oh my God, you're going to like freak someone out because he barks at people and then also like gets way too excited around dogs. Like he loves dogs and he's huge. So he like freaks them out, especially little dogs, and he tries to hump them. Whatever. Point is, I thought he would do great at daycare. So I found this daycare. It's amazing, right? It's huge. It has all the space. They have no cages. Like they never put your dog in a kennel, which I really loved. And he seemed to really like it. And they have great reviews, like 5-star reviews. And they have like a long wait list and whatever. So I started taking him to this daycare. After a few weeks of taking him, it's probably been like, I don't know, he's been there maybe 10 times. Like I've taken him a lot at this point. I look at the cameras because they have cameras in all of the little areas of the daycare, which is good. So I look at the cameras. I'm on my way to pick him up. Emmon's driving. I'm on my phone looking. And I'm just like wondering where he is because I'm curious because it's like late at night. It's dark out. I'm like, I wonder if he's inside, if he's outside, like what they do with him at this hour. And I look at the camera and I just happen to open it to see the like dog handler person like yank on his leash and like get in his face. And it wasn't like a regular reprimanding. It wasn't like understandable, like, oh, they're like, you know, pulling on his leash, like, you know, firm, but not too intense. Or they're clearly like being intense, you know, like how you're supposed to, I guess, reprimand a dog, like, hey, don't do that, but not in a scary way. The way that they were doing it was like intense and mean. Like you could just feel the mean energy. And it was literally the saddest thing in the entire world. Like the hardest thing, honestly, to look at because it's my dog. you could just see how scared he was. Oh my God. It actually made me cry a lot. So I saw that and I was like, what the hell? Because I couldn't really see what he did before this. So I was like, okay, maybe he did something wrong, even though I still don't like what they were doing. But I was like, okay, maybe it was justified. I don't know. They didn't like hit him. They were just like getting in his face and like scaring the shit out of him, which like I did not like. So I keep watching on the video because we're still driving. We're almost there at this point. And then I see they pull on his leash again. He's just standing. Like I know he's not doing anything. They pull on his leash and she gets in his face again. And I was like, why? So this time I screen record it because I like wanted to catch it just in case I needed to bring it up or I wanted to show anyone. I get out of the car to go pick him up and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to like ask them, like maybe there's some sort of explanation. So I go up to the like person who's giving me Norman. It's not the person who's reprimanding him. It's a different person. And I'm like, I noticed on the cameras he got like reprimanded for something and I explained what happened. I showed them the screen recording. I was like, I was just wondering like why they were doing this because like it didn't look like he was doing anything. And at this point, I kind of knew I wasn't going to take him to this daycare anymore because regardless of what he was doing, I didn't like how it was handled. It really upset me, but I just wanted to know, like just for my own mind. And he goes, oh yeah, he was probably crying at the gate and you know, they need to calm the pack. So they were probably just, you know, trying to calm him down. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, but he didn't do anything. Like, and I like pushed back a little bit. I was like, he didn't do anything wrong, right? Like, they were just like, they kind of got in his face. It was like really aggressive. And he was like, oh yeah, they were probably just trying to get him to stop crying. I was like, excuse me? Like, you're a professional dog daycare. Like, you don't know how to handle dogs with anxiety? I feel like any human being with any shred of empathy or understanding of creatures would know that like if a dog is crying because they want to go home, you don't like get in their face and get mad at them. And oh my God, this made me cry so much. I was so sad. I was on the way home sitting in the backseat just like petting him and being like, has he been dealing with this the whole time? Oh, this made me so sad. Has he been dealing with this the whole time? Like have they been doing this to him the whole time? Every time I drop him off, am I like, I don't know, putting him somewhere with mean people? Oh my God, it was so upsetting. So yeah. Moral of that story is I'm not taking him there anymore and I have to find a new daycare, which now I'm scared to find a new daycare, but I want to. Like, I want him to see other dogs in a controlled environment. I want him to have nice handlers who love him and give him pets and hugs. And like, I guess I should have I kind of felt like this place had a weird red flag because they tell you like their philosophy going into it. And they're like, oh, the alpha dog and like our handlers are the alphas. And we put the packs of dogs together that like have the same energy or whatever so that, you know, the alpha person can be in control. And like, they basically said like, we're not going to give your dog pets because we're trying to keep them on a higher level than the dogs. And I kind of thought that was weird, but like I trusted them because again, they had such good reviews and like they're such a long standing daycare. I guess people just don't care. I don't know. So yeah, not taking him there anymore, but I do want to find a new daycare for him. And when I travel, to answer the other part of this question, I have an amazing dog sitter and she watches him whenever I go pretty much. So he stays in the house. That's what we do every time I go to visit Emmett on tour or have to go on a trip, which is relatively frequently now. I feel so good about leaving him because it's the same person every time. He gets to stay in the house. He absolutely loves her. Her boyfriend comes over and stays and like he'll hang out with both of them. So that makes me happy. So yeah, Norman is well taken care of, even though he had a little bit of a traumatizing thing happen to him, which I'm very, very sad about. And I feel so guilty as a dog owner. Like, oh my God, I'm ruining him and I'm ruining his mental health and I'm making him sad. But hopefully I can fix it. Moving on. Someone said, honestly, how have you been mentally? And I wanted to answer this because I feel like you guys are my homies and I haven't updated you on how I've been. Because in my videos, I used to update you all the time, constantly on my mental health. And it's good that I don't do that anymore because talking about myself so much was, I think, making my problems worse in the past. But I want to tell you about it now. So I feel like I've been pretty good. It's hard with the cold weather. I feel like the cold weather sometimes makes me feel depressed. I don't think I have depression, so I don't want to use that word, lightly or whatever, but it makes me feel feelings of depression and I don't like it. And it gets dark really early. I'm sort of getting used to it, but like for the first month that the sun was going down this early, which was like almost all of November, it was like very difficult to deal with. And I felt like I was dying. And I would have a lot of days where I just laid in bed all day or like didn't do anything because I was just so demotivated. So that kind of sucked. But I feel like in general, I am like miles ahead from what I used to be. And I just made a video about this, about leaving my flop era. And I feel like I've pretty much permanently, well, I can't say that, but I feel like I've left my flop era mentally as well. I can't say that I won't be back because I'm sure there will be times in my life where I feel horrible again. But for the most part, I feel really good, with the exception of some pretty intense anxiety. Luckily, I don't feel anxious 24/7, which is something that I felt when I was a teenager. That has gone away, which is great. But I do have an issue with moving on and letting go when something's bothering me. And I don't know if this is how everybody feels, but I feel like mine is a little bit more intense than like the average feeling. But like, if something is happening in my life that's unsettling, whether it's someone's mad at me or something isn't figured out, or I don't know, my plans are getting messed up, or how I thought my day would go, or whatever, stuff like that. When that happens, I feel like I can't shake the feeling of anxiety. Like, I feel nervous about it. And then sometimes, like if it's an ongoing thing, I will feel nervous for multiple days on end. And like my stomach will be so intense and I will wake up. Like the other day, there was something going on and I woke up so early because I could not sleep because I was so unbelievably anxious. Because like the way my anxiety manifests is not necessarily that I'm thinking conscious thoughts. It's like I just feel it in my stomach, like really, really bad. So I was feeling that pretty intensely in the past couple days, and just like, you know, throughout life, that's kind of the biggest thing that I struggle with, is like the inability to just talk myself out of a stressful situation. You know, the inability to be like, it's going to be fine. You're going to be okay. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to think about this 24/7. Just go do your laundry. Just go work. Just go eat or whatever. Like I can't do anything else. I just go on my phone and I scroll on TikTok because like I think it's that little feeling of dopamine or whatever the, I don't know, neurotransmitter is released when you scroll on TikTok. That like makes me feel better. Or like playing video games or something, which like it obviously doesn't actually make me feel better. I guess it's more like scratching an itch. So it's like not a good thing. But that is the only thing I feel like I'm capable of doing in those moments. So that kind of sucks. But generally, I feel like I'm doing a lot better. So that is a good update. All right, I'm going to do one more because this is, I think, my longest episode I've ever done. It's getting a little bit intense, okay? A few different people kind of just asked me what's been going on in my life. So I kind of wanted to just give you a rundown on like what my days are like recently, since I don't talk to you guys so much anymore. Which, by the way, I do miss. Like I watched one of my vlogs today and I was like, oh, I miss vlogging. Like I don't miss filming my whole life because it got a little bit intense, but like, I don't know, I miss talking to the camera and like just filming my day. It was fun, but it gets a little stressful for me. So I don't know if I'll do it again. I don't know. It's a little complicated, but point is I do miss that. But I live a very simple life, which is so nice because I feel like I went from the most chaotic thing in the world to a much more chill life. I still am technically working like 2 jobs, I guess you could say. Not like 2 actual full-time jobs, like someone, you know, in the real world working at like McDonald's and Taco Bell or something. But I mean, like I'm doing 2 different things. Like I do my social media and then I also have my full-time job with the animal sanctuary. So I'm very busy. Like my time is, you know, full for the most part, unless I'm playing Clash Royale, which is my new favorite game. I literally feel like an 8-year-old boy, but it's the most fun game in the world. So I do play that all the time. I'm not going to lie. And I watch a lot of TikTok, but when I'm not watching TikTok and playing Clash Royale, I'm working, which is nice. It's good to be busy. But I don't know if I mentioned this early in the video, but I'm going to hopefully be announcing in the next couple of weeks something really cool that I will be doing frequently, that I will be sharing with you guys. So you'll see that. And then I also have another thing that I'm going to start doing that I'm not going to tell you guys about because I just am not going to. And it's like another sort of business thing. So I'm going to be doing more work in the future in like 2022, which is really cool because Emin obviously is going to be gone a lot. And while I am busy, it's not like I'm booked solid. Like I do have a lot of downtime. So I can fill that downtime for sure. And I know maybe sometimes it's not healthy to try to fill your downtime, but that's just how I am. So back to my original question, what I do all day. I'll just tell you what I did today because it was kind of a normal day. I woke up at 7:30, but I woke up extra early today. I haven't been doing that recently, but I woke up early today to meet up with my friend Maris, who we both are traveling for the holidays. She's going to be gone until New Year's, and I'm going to be gone until New Year's, like starting on Christmas. So I'm not going to see her basically. So I went to go get coffee with her early this morning before work. I work from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. every single day. I have a lunch break at 12 p.m. And then today I finished work at 5:30. I was like rushing to get this video done because we have this new rescue that I was working on making the video, the initial video for. Oh, it's going to be posted by the time I post this. It's about 2 new horses that we just rescued. Because in case you guys didn't know, I work for an animal sanctuary. Some of you might not know that. Maybe you missed that. So I edited that literally all day long, which normally I'm doing like a lot of different things, like multiple different editings. I'll do calls, I'll do all kinds of stuff. But today I was kind of just doing one video. Which was nice because I kind of hyper-focused through the entire day and it went by very quickly. But anyway, I finished that at 5:30 and then I hung out with Emin for a short amount of time. I went to the store at 6 p.m. because I'm going to New York tomorrow, which is another life update that I guess I forgot to tell you guys. I'm going to New York for 2 days for work because we have multiple sanctuaries in different states and we're opening a sanctuary in New York. So they want me to go film there. So I'm going to New York tomorrow. So I had to go buy a bunch of winter clothes because it is freezing there. And I live in California where it doesn't get below like 60 really, maybe like in the 50s, but it's going to be in like the 30s and 20s when I go. So I bought some sweaters and I bought some beanies and I bought some gloves because I'm going to be outside filming all day long. So I need to not freeze to death and get frostbite. And then I came home and I'm shooting a couple videos tonight because I need to get some videos out by the end of the year. And I have to stockpile them. And now that I'm home, I'm just filming. I got a bunch of errands done. I did my laundry and I'm going to go to bed. I normally don't like film. So most days I would like run my errands and then clean my house and then like watch Family Guy or something with Emin and then go to bed. Like that's kind of my life. I live a mostly 9 to 5 lifestyle. 9 to 5 with doing my social media on the hours that I am not doing that. Like I really, really weekend it up. And I'm loving it. It's the best feeling in the world. I made a TikTok about this, but like clocking out on Friday at 5 p.m. is the best feeling ever, knowing that I don't have to work until Monday. And then like Sunday night, preparing for the week, like cleaning my house, making my work setup ready, whatever, and then working on Monday morning. It's just the best. I love it. I love the consistency. And my life has just become so calm since then. So I hope that gives you guys a good idea of what I do in my life. It's going to change in 2022 and that'll be fun, but that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, this has been literally the longest episode in the world, but I hope you guys feel updated on my life now because that's kind of all my life updates that I can think of, at least right now. And I will talk to you guys, I think in a week because I have some more videos that I'm filming that will be coming out. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.